reading in my New Scientist magazine about how they needed to do some testing about the noises that certain devices that they were setting up to the International Space Station made. So if you want to test what noise something makes, you have to put it in a silent room, right? So that you know what is the noise of the thing that you're measuring and what's the noise of the outside world that surrounds it. So they had to build this room that was basically this box inside of another box, and then they had to soundproof all around the outside of that inner box, and then they had to put more sound baffling stuff inside the inner box to make it totally silent. That's a lot of work for total silence. In today's reading, we're going to hear about a man who went to heaven and experienced the throne room of God, is what he says. He says that he heard all of creation singing. Can you imagine that? What that sounds like? I know the people that were there at the sunrise service at Easter. Yeah, let's be honest. It was early, it's cold, but it was beautiful. And you could hear all of creation singing. What about late at night when the stars are out? What about at the seashore? Or on the top of Mount Washington, for those of you who hike, or drive, I guess. But let's kind of step it up a little bit. What about sitting in traffic? What about being behind the lady at the grocery store in the 12 items or fewer line, and she clearly has 27 items? Are there places where it is hard to hear the sound of the music of creation? Where would that be?
Second grade lunch duty.
Second grade lunch duty. You get a total amen on that. Where else is it hard to hear? There is no one who drives on Route 3 in this room?
Spending the entire day at a hospital with a sick relative.
Spending the entire day at a hospital with a relative. Where it's so much hurry up and wait and hurry up and wait, and just more anxiety gets delivered every hour just in case you didn't have enough in the first hour. Work in general.
Yeah.
Dog kennel with open boarding.
Dog kennel with open boarding, absolutely.
At my oldest daughter's house, where the fire alarm goes off at the fire station across the canal. And it goes off, it winds up and winds down 15 times.
Yes, across from the fire station. Where I grew up, we grew up right next to the fire station. I am with you there. Construction site with someone who's recovering from hernia surgery and isn't supposed to be lifting anything. It's the hiding the dead body that's always the hard part.
I'd say war zone, Ukraine.
War zone, Ukraine, absolutely.
Visiting my dad who never stops talking.
Visiting my dad who never stops talking. And you're so glad to talk to him. But there comes a point where you're like, yep, need to have a long call with Peter now. Long call. Yeah, I know it's the middle of the night in Norway. We're still having like a long call. So let's pick one. I'm going to pick the second grade lunchroom. Because we've been there as second graders and as visiting. How could we hear the music of creation?
The children's voices are the music of creation.
The children's voices are the music of creation, especially when they're not talking to you. How else in the middle of that?
Well, I said doing the back, it's all creation.
It's all creation, good and bad.
Just the lunch people just serving.
There's service there. There's service there. The children aren't hungry. How many children, the children in Ukraine, how many children are hungry? And they're not hungry there. Because that's the thing, right? If we're arguing that it's the music of creation, then there can't be a place where we can't hear it. Even if I am the person, as I am, merging onto Route 3, and there's someone going 85 in the breakdown lane, the music is there. And if I can't hear it, then I may need to ask someone, help me hear it. If this is my 15th day on second grade lunch, I may need someone to help me not do second grade lunch for a little bit. So just let's kind of, what I wanted to encourage is, because when we hear about the song of creation and we have the band playing, sometimes the images of the music that we have are these beautiful, glorious images, and we don't teach ourselves to listen for the music when it's hard. So join me in prayer. This is what I say it and you say it back to me. Loving God, help me to hear the song of creation. Help me to ask other people what they're hearing. When I can't hear